What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including, did WWE induct AJ Styles to prevent him from going to AEW? A freak injury changes a match? A former WWE Divas champion breaks silence on private photos being leaked? Bronson Reed undergoes surgery? Jey Uso reacts to Backlash after qualifying for the Chamber? Paul Heyman messages an ex-WWE star during an interview? A wrestler's Hall of Fame ring stolen? Cody Rhodes hints at a final WWE run, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Now our first story looks at, did WWE induct AJ Styles to prevent him to go to AEW? Now in this undisputed newsletter, Justin Barrasso reported that WWE pays close attention to AEW's developments behind the scenes, regardless of public perception. The discussion centered around AJ Styles' Hall of Fame induction. Barrasso suggested that the move may have served a strategic purpose, potentially closing the door on any future AEW appearances. The report also stated that AEW was prepared to present a lucrative offer to AJ, one featuring strong financial terms and a much lighter schedule. Now Styles addressed that speculation during an appearance with Frankie Kazarian on Talk & Shop Live, stating,
"So everybody wants to say, oh, the WWE put him in the Hall of Fame so that he couldn't go to AEW. Guys, I'm retired from wrestling in the ring. That's all this is. I make my own choices. I make my own decisions.
100%.
Like I was ready."
Now his response made it clear that the decision was his own, rather than the result of corporate maneuvering. But it seems that AJ Styles is staying in WWE. And Styles may not be lacing up the boots anymore, but he's not done with professional wrestling just yet. Speaking on the Talk & Shop podcast, Styles made it very clear that retirement doesn't mean disappearing. It just means shifting roles.
I'm still going to be working with WWE. That's not going to change. I have these dreams and aspirations of helping out the younger talent and helping them get ready. And if somebody's not ready, once they get there, it's my job to hopefully help them get to that point where they can do well and they're confident when they step into a WWE ring that they have the ability and the talent to. They're one of the boys or one of the girls. Like they belong. And being able to help with that is a blessing, dude. I'm so excited about it.
If you followed AJ Styles over the years, this probably doesn't surprise you. He's talked multiple times about wanting to help build the next generation once his in-ring days were done, and now that transition is officially happening. Instead of exploring another promotion or entertaining outside offers, he's choosing to stay with WWE, but in a mentorship role. Next up, a freak injury changes a match. Last night on AEW Dynamite, something clearly went off script, and if you were paying attention during the women's tag team title match, you could feel it. Penelope Ford, teaming with Megan Bayne, challenged the reigning champions, the Babes of Wrath, that being Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale. It was supposed to be a big night for Ford and Bayne, but then everything shifted. Fans inside the arena started posting photos of Ford being checked on by medical staff during the commercial break, and after, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select confirmed that the situation was very real. Ford had been injured, and the match had to be changed on the fly. It was reported during the Babes of Wrath vs Megabad, Penelope Ford sustained an injury that took her out of the match. An audible was called during the match that Lena Cross would run in and cause a DQ, instead of leaving a match as a 2-on-1 where the heel and Bayne had to fight from underneath. During the commercial break, Penelope Ford was checked on and ruled out of the match. After Harley Cameron tagged out, she largely stayed out of the match as well. Now honestly, this couldn't have come at a worse time. Ford had just returned from a lengthy injury layoff that kept her sidelined for months. She and Bayne were starting to build real momentum as one of the featured teams in AEW's evolving women's tag division, but now everything feels uncertain again. As of now, the nature of Ford's injury hasn't been revealed, but if it turns out to be serious, it could be another setback not just for her, but for the women's tag scene that's still trying to find its rhythm. Next up, a former WWE Divas champion breaks silence on private photos being leaked. Now, the former WWE Diva stepped away from in-ring competition in 2014 to then focus on her fitness clothing business. Now, although she's retired from wrestling, Caitlyn has remained active online and continues engaging with the audience through social media and YouTube. During a recent Q&A session on her YouTube channel, she revealed that an unknown individual accessed her iCloud account and leaked private photos without her consent.
I have done implied nudity and some topless photo shoots, very tasteful, never anything like super erotic. What really sucks is that a couple years ago, and I don't know who it was, I don't know if it was somebody I knew, or if it was just somebody who hacked my iCloud, but someone accessed some photos of me from my iCloud that I did not want public and put them on the internet. And it was so devastating because it was such an invasion of privacy, and it just wasn't my decision and it wasn't my choice, and that's not what I wanted for myself.
Caitlyn also recalled a separate incident during an autograph signing when a fan brought a printed copy of one of the leaked images and asked her to sign it, which is insane. She reflected on how that moment affected her emotionally.
And so I've had times where I've been doing an autograph signing and someone will bring a printed out photo of one of these leaked photos to me to sign, and it used to trigger me. It hasn't happened a lot, but it's happened enough for me to know how to react in the situation. Like, it just used to really trigger me because it was such an invasion of my privacy, and it was embarrassing, and it sucks because, again, it wasn't my decision to do that. Everybody has private stuff on their phone, right? It's for my eyes and whoever else I decided to share that with, my husband or, my partner.
Our comments highlight the lasting impact of privacy violations, particularly when personal material is distributed without consent, though the fan who wanted her to sign it is an absolute piece of shit. Next up, Bronson Reed to undergo surgery. Now, after Bronson Reed suffered a distal biceps tear during this week's edition of Raw in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match, a new update has emerged regarding his condition. According to PW Insider, the tribal thief was sent to Birmingham, Alabama, immediately following Raw for further medical evaluation and treatment. The report indicates that sadly, surgery is expected. Earlier coverage described his status as indefinitely out of action, signaling that this is not a minor setback. For wrestlers, a completely torn distal bicep tendon generally requires surgery, with a recovery and return to the sport timeline of 4 to 6 months, though full high-intensity competition readiness can sometimes take up to 9 to 12 months. This is incredibly bad news for Bronson Reed, but we're wishing him all the best for a speedy recovery. Next up, Jey Uso reacts to the Backlash after qualifying for the Elimination Chamber. Now, after WWE uploaded Raw highlights showing Jey Uso securing the final spot in the men's Elimination Chamber match, the reaction online was immediate and highly critical. The video quickly became a talking point after dislikes absolutely went through the roof. At one stage, it was sitting at 77.9% dislikes, with more than 27,600 thumbs down compared to just 7,800 likes. But now 2 days later, Jey has finally addressed it. The former World Heavyweight Champion shared a screenshot to his Instagram story showing the dislike count had passed 20,000. Rather than responding defensively, he chose to make light of the situation. Alongside the image, he wrote, "Stop, y'all love me." However, his cousin Jacob Fatu took a more direct approach during an appearance on No Contest Wrestling. Fatu challenged fans who have recently turned on Jey, suggesting the Backlash lacks consistency. Come on y'all, don't be hot over Jey yeeting, because let's be real, y'all might have been yeeting with him too in his early days. Fatu then offered a blunt message to critics, urging them to stop over-analyzing and just simply enjoy the product. Enjoy the show, just shut the hell up, just enjoy the show. Now, he continued by pointing out what he believes in a contradiction among fans who continue watching while voicing complaints. Listen, obviously you keep watching it, obviously you're complaining, you're watching. Just chill, enjoy the show. Obviously, if you're complaining about him yeeting, that means you're watching him yeet. Now, despite the online negativity, Jey Uso's live crowd reactions remain strong. His entrance continues to generate major arena responses, and WWE has consistently positioned him as a featured star following his World Heavyweight Championship reign and ongoing involvement in key storylines. Next up, Paul Heyman messages an ex-WWE star during an interview. And during an appearance with Monopoly events, the former Karrion Kross sparked speculation in a very unexpected way. While discussing a range of topics, Kross appeared briefly distracted by his phone, but the situation became more notable when he asked if he could reveal who had sent the message. After Kross agreed, it was disclosed that the text had come from Paul Heyman.
Wow. I was like, I thought it was your mum had texted you then, but no, I'm not going to say who that is. That is actually nuts. Can I say who that was? Sure. So we just looked at the phone and Paul Heyman has just texted.
Right,
what are the chances of that?
Moving on.
Why do we think Paul Heyman's text? Why do you think he's text?
No. Let's see. What was your other question?
But towards the end of the interview, he revisited the moment and asked directly whether a return to WWE could be in consideration. Kross responded carefully, smiling and suggesting that a significant development in the future could not be ruled out, though he stopped short of confirming anything. Heyman's support for Kross has been documented in the past. During a 2025 appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, Heyman compared Kross's potential rise in the WWE to that of Stone Cold Steve Austin, signaling strong confidence in his upside. But despite building organic momentum during his previous WWE run, Cross was eventually released. Reports at the time indicated that Triple H was not fully aligned with him creatively, casting doubt on any likelihood of a return. At present, there's no confirmed movement toward a reunion. However, the public acknowledgement of communication with Paul Heyman has definitely added a new layer of intrigue to Cross's future. Could they be calling him to be a new member of the Vision, perhaps even lead the stable now that Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed are now out of action? It would certainly be an interesting development if Cross was brought in to be the head of the stable. Next up, a WWE Star Hall of Fame ring stolen in a shocking break-in. Now, unfortunately, break-in has resulted in the loss of one of the most meaningful possessions connected to a WWE Hall of Famer. Davey Boy Smith Jr. was staying at a hotel while working for Canadian Wrestling Elite, but during an overnight stay, the cruise trailer was broken into and several items, both valuable and sentimental, were stolen. Canadian Wrestling Elite informed fans through Instagram, issuing the following statement: "Need help from my friends and followers in the Lloydminster area. The CWE crew who performed last night were the victims of a break-in at their hotel. Sometime early this morning, someone broke into their trailer and stole the following items: the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith Jr.'s wrestling gear and travel bag, Hart Foundation leather vest, British Bulldog's Hall of Fame ring, a gold chain and jewelry. The CWE Tag Team Championship belt RCMP have been called." Now, as you may have heard, among the stolen belongings was the British Bulldog's Hall of Fame ring, a symbol of Davey Boy Smith's legacy. The Bulldog passed away in 2002 at the age of 39, and he was posthumously inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2021 after originally being announced for the 2020 class before the ceremony was delayed due to the pandemic. Authorities, including the RCMP, have been contacted and efforts are underway to recover the stolen property. And finally, Cody Rhodes hints at a final WWE run. During a recent episode on Unsportsmanlike on ESPN, the former undisputed WWE champion addressed both retirement speculation and ongoing contract discussions. While he acknowledged that he no longer has a firm end date mapped out for his career, he's made his long-term intentions clear. The next contract he signs will be his last one, and it will be with WWE. When asked directly about his future, he responded without hesitation saying, "I don't have an end date like I used to. I don't know that whatever the next deal that I sign with WWE, I ain't going nowhere. That next deal will be my last." The 40-year-old superstar also noted that he feels he is currently in his professional prime, particularly regarding his ability to craft promos and do high-level matches. While he was once wary of overstaying his welcome in the ring, Rhodes believes that the modern era allows wrestlers to maintain their peak performance much longer than previous generations. Beyond title pursuits and WrestleMania main events, Rhodes is clearly thinking long-term. If he stays true to his word, the final chapter of Cody Rhodes' in-ring career will be written and finished under the WWE banner. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.